The lesson is about finding roots of polynomial equations by applying the rational root theorem. But first, let's have an easy example. Let's take this trinomial x squared plus 10x plus 9 equals 0. Finding the factors, this will lead us to x plus 1 and the quantity of x plus 9. So the roots will be negative 1 and negative 9. How did we come up with negative 1? And this is for the negative 9. So what we did here is we first factor out the trinomial, factor it out completely, then get the or identify the roots. Now let's have this example. X cubed minus x squared minus 10x minus 8 equals 0. The rational root theorem states that if a polynomial has any rational roots, then it must be in the form of a sub 0 or a sub n. A sub 0 here will represent our constant, so we will list the factors of the constant. A sub n here will be our leading coefficient, so we will list the factors of our leading coefficient. Since we have here our leading coefficient is 1, our constant is negative 8, so we will have the factors. This is for 8, the constant, negative positive 1, negative positive 2, negative positive 4, and negative positive 8. And for our leading coefficient 1, the factors will be negative positive 1. We will try to use all of the factors to check if it can simplify our equation. But we will start with the smallest value, that is negative positive 1. So I've listed down here, negative positive 1 will be in the form of x plus 1 and x minus 1 equals 0. Let's take x plus 1 is equal to 0. Using the synthetic division, this will give us negative 1. Let's list down the coefficients with the constant. So we will have 1, negative 1, negative 10, negative 8. Now carefully do the process of the synthetic division. Bring down the first value, that is 1, multiply. Negative 1 times 1 will give us negative 1. Negative 1 plus negative 1 will give us negative 2. Negative 1 times negative 2 will give us positive 2. Negative 10 plus 2 will give us negative 8. Negative 1 times negative 8 will give us positive 8. And this will give us 0 for the remainder. If the remainder will be 0, therefore, this is a factor of the given polynomial. Now let's rewrite. Since the given starts with x raised to 3, the answer will be, if we will rewrite this will be x squared minus 2x. Our constant here is 8. Since x plus 1 here is a factor, now let's simplify this or factor this out completely so that we can list down all of the factors of the polynomial. Factoring out the x squared minus 2x minus 8, this will give us the quantity of x plus 2 and the quantity of x minus 4. Let's list now all of the factors. Again, the given is now we can identify the roots. This will give us x is equal to negative 1, negative 2, 4. So the roots of this polynomial will be negative 1, negative 2, and 4. Next example, we will have the polynomial x cubed plus 5x squared plus 2x minus 8 equals 0. Let's identify first our a sub 0 and our a sub n. So our constant is negative 8. So we will have factors of our constant will be negative positive 1, negative positive 2, negative positive 4, negative positive 8. And for the factors of our leading coefficient, that is 1, we will have negative positive 1. Again, we will start with the lowest value to test if it is a factor of this given polynomial. So the lowest factors here will be x plus 1 and x minus 1. So next step is, we will use the synthetic division. Let me use the x plus 1. So using the synthetic division, we will have here negative 1. Now we will list the coefficients with the constant here. Now let's do the synthetic division. Down 1. Negative 1 times 1 will give us negative 1. 5 minus negative 1 will give us positive 4. Negative 1 times 4 will give us negative 4. 2 plus negative 4 will give us negative 2. Negative 1 times negative 2 will give us positive 2. So this will be our remainder. Our remainder here is negative 6. Since we have a remainder, so our x plus 1 is not a factor of this polynomial. Now let's try the x minus 1. Let's try the x minus 1 using the synthetic division. So this will give us positive 1. Now let's list all the coefficients with the constant. 1, 5, 2, negative 8. 1, 5, 2, negative 8. Now let's proceed. First is to bring down the first value. 1 times 1 will give us 1. 5 plus 1 will give us 6. Then we have 1 times 6 will give us 6. 2 plus 6 will give us 8. 1 plus 8 will give us 8. 1 times 8 will give us 8. Negative 8 plus 8 will give us 0. Therefore, if the remainder is 0, therefore, this is a factor. So we list now that x minus 1 is a factor of this polynomial. So from the answer here of our synthetic division, so what's left will be x squared plus 6x plus 8 equals 0. So after factoring out the x minus 1 on this polynomial, we still have x squared plus 6x plus 8 as an equation. Let's factor out this one. So this will lead us with the factors of x plus 4 and x plus 2. Now listing all the factors, so we will have x plus, we will have x minus 1, x plus 4, x plus 2 as the factors. So the roots will be, this will give us 1, negative 4, negative 2. The roots will be 1, negative 4, and negative 2.